Most people waste months and even years trying to lose fat and build muscle at the same time, but they're never able to see the results that they want. And it's not because they're not working hard enough, it's because they're missing at least one of these 5 critical components of body recomposition. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what's holding you back and how to fix it starting today. Before we get into the 5 things that you need to nail, let's quickly discuss what body recomposition actually means, because that will make the whole rest of the video really click for you. Body recomposition is when you lose fat and gain muscle at the same time, essentially changing your body's proportion of muscle and fat tissue and its overall look, sometimes without a big change in your body weight. You could also achieve body recomposition when you're on a weight loss journey, where you're losing a significant amount of body fat and gaining a pretty good amount of muscle mass with proper training and diet. From my experience, body recomp is the most realistic for people who are new to resistance training or beginners, those with higher body fat percentages to start, or those who have taken a long break from resistance training and are now just kind of getting back into it, and intermediate lifters who still have a lot of room to really dial in their training and nutrition. Body recomposition is possible for more advanced trainees or lifters, but the process is going to be much slower for those who have already optimized all the aspects of body recomposition that we're going to discuss in this video today. So while it is possible, it probably makes more sense for those people to prioritize losing body fat or gaining muscle mass at separate times, which is more commonly referred to as cutting and bulking. Unlike cutting, where you're in a clear calorie deficit, or bulking, where you're in a calorie surplus, body recomposition is going to happen right around your maintenance calories, with the addition of enough protein and smart training to help your body burn body fat and build muscle at the same time. The truth is that this could be a really slow process. You're not going to see dramatic weekly changes on your scale, and progress can almost feel non-existent when you first start this journey out. But over 6 to 12 months, your strength is going to start to go up, your clothes might start fitting differently, and your physique is going to change for the better. Now that you know what body recomposition actually is, let's talk about why your journey might not be going as planned, because even if one of these areas is off, your progress can stall. Common mistake number 1 is that you are not consuming the proper amount of calories. You're either in too big of a deficit, which can make it really challenging to build muscle, or you might be in too big of a surplus, which makes it really easy to gain excess body fat. Both of these scenarios are not ideal for the person that wants to gain as much muscle mass as possible, but with minimal body fat. Mistake number 2 is that your protein intake might be too low or just really inconsistent. Protein is essential for muscle growth and recovery, so it's really important that you're eating enough on a daily basis and spreading out your intake throughout the day. We're going to go into specifics about protein, like how much you should aim for on a daily basis, later in this video. Mistake number 3 is that your training is not optimized for muscle growth. Challenging your muscles with resistance or weight is the most effective way to gain muscle, hands down. If you're a beginner to weightlifting, then your body should respond really well to the new stimulus, and it won't take super strategic programming or pushing yourself to all-out failure to see some pretty substantial muscle growth. However, doing too much cardio, switching up your workouts every time, or not pushing yourself hard enough during your resistance training workouts could seriously slow you down or even completely stall your progress the more advanced that you become with lifting. There's also the chance that you're doing too much in the gym, which is causing your recovery to be really poor. The recovery aspect of training is often overlooked, but remember that your muscles aren't growing while you're actively in the gym working out. They repair and grow bigger and stronger after the workout is over, which is when the recovery process really begins. So if you find that you're constantly sore and you're not performing well in the gym anymore, you actually might be stunting your gains by overtraining. Mistake number 4 is just not being consistent with your habits. For body recomposition to happen, you have to be consistent with your training, nutrition, and certain lifestyle factors at least 80% of the time. Because growing muscle is such a slower process than losing body fat in most cases, doing things like missing your resistance training sessions or not pushing yourself hard enough in the gym or not eating enough protein on a daily basis could make the process go even slower and make it feel like nothing is even happening at all. The last big mistake is neglecting recovery and certain lifestyle habits that will actually help with body recomposition. This includes getting enough sleep, managing stress, and making sure that you're recovering properly between your training sessions. Getting enough sleep will not only help your body recover better from your workouts, allowing you to actually push yourself harder during those training sessions and build more muscle more efficiently, efficiently, but it will also help you reduce cravings and hunger. The same can be said for psychological or emotional stress, which many people often turn to food to help cope with. Or if you're someone who eats less food when stress is high, that could also be detrimental to your body recomposition goals, since not eating enough calories and protein can also inhibit your muscle growth in many ways. Underfilling yourself can also lead to poor recovery and performance in the gym, which will stunt your muscle growth and fat burning capabilities in the long run. Now that you know what might be holding your body recomposition journey back, let's talk about what actually works. These are the 5 things that really matter if you want to build muscle and lose fat at the same time. The first thing that you need to dial in is your daily caloric intake. Body recomposition seems to work best when you're eating right around your maintenance calories, not way above or below it. If your current main priority is fat loss, aim for a small deficit of 250 to 500 calories per day. The higher end of this range, which is about 500 calories, is going to be the most ideal for someone who is starting off with a higher body fat percentage and has a bigger weight loss goal to start with. If you're starting out with a higher body fat percentage, your body's already going to have plenty of stored energy that it could use, which makes it easier to burn fat while also using some of that energy to build muscle, which gives you a better chance to see body recomposition changes even when you're in a larger deficit. If building muscle is your top priority, go for a small surplus of 200 to 300 calories per day. And if you're someone who's already at their ideal body weight, then it's going to be a good idea to stay around your maintenance calories. All of these recommendations will provide your body with enough energy so that you could recover from your training without pushing you too far forward fat gain or muscle loss. Next is protein, and this is definitely a non-negotiable. Protein supports muscle growth, helps you maintain the muscle you already have, and keeps you feeling fuller, which makes it easier to stick to your plan. You should be aiming for 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight every single day, spread across 3 to 5 meals or snacks. If you're someone that has a significant weight loss goal or weighs over 200 pounds, it might be more realistic but equally beneficial for you to aim for 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of your goal body weight, since going over 200 grams of protein every single day might be overkill for some people and might not yield much additional benefit. Also, if you are planning to be in a calorie deficit, I do recommend going towards the higher range of this protein recommendation, so like 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight, so that we can make sure that we're at least preserving as much muscle mass as possible as your total body weight goes down. Third, you have to match your training to your goal. Resistance training is going to signal to your body that you need to increase your muscle mass to meet the demands that you're placing on your body. For most people, that's going to look like 3 to 5 resistance training sessions per week, and focusing on progressive overload, which means gradually increasing the amount of weight, reps, or sets that you're doing so that you can continuously challenge your muscles. 2 other factors that play a huge role in muscle growth are volume and how hard you're pushing yourself. Volume refers to your total workload. It's the sets, reps, and weight you lift for each muscle group each week. Too little volume and you probably won't stimulate enough muscle growth. Too much and you risk overtraining and slowing the recovery process, which is going to impair your future training sessions. Most people are going to see great results with 5 to 20 hard sets per muscle group per week, spread across multiple sessions. Your effort during those sessions is just as important. If every set ends with several reps left in the tank, you're just not giving your muscles the best stimulus to grow. You don't need to train to complete failure for every set, but most of your working sets should be taken close to failure, or about 1 to 3 reps from it, so that your muscles are really challenged enough to adapt. Meet yourself where you're at with this, and use your recovery to gauge if you could push yourself a little bit harder or if you need to let off the gas a little bit. If you're constantly sore or your performance in the gym is starting to tank, you might need to reduce the amount of volume that you're doing or stay a few more reps from failure. If you want me to take the guesswork out of all this for you, I've got my full training program and step-by-step nutrition guide linked in the description below. They're built to make sure that your workouts, calories, and protein are all dialed in so that you could finally start to see real changes, and right now it's only $27. So again, check that out in the description below if you need some help. So that brings us to recovery, which again is another key piece that you cannot ignore. Earlier in this video, I went into detail about how poor sleep and stress could really throw you off track from a training and nutrition perspective. How hard we push ourselves, how many calories and how much protein we consume, and how much time for rest we give ourselves at night in between sessions will all play a role in recovery. But I think it feels easier for a lot of us to look at our training and nutrition and start to make tweaks before we try to make positive changes to our sleep schedule or how we manage stress. All of these things will impact you on your journey, so make sure that you're not just looking at how you can make yourself work harder, but also how you can recover a bit better. Finally, you need to track your progress beyond just the scale. Unless you have a major weight loss goal and you're in a calorie deficit, the number on the scale might barely change even as your body is changing significantly. That's why it's so important to take progress photos, take your measurements, and track your strength in the gym. You might not see progress within 1 month or even 2 months, but if you are consistent with the 4 things that I just went over, you are going to see a difference within 3 to 6 months. Seeing those changes will obviously be a huge motivation for you to continue being consistent on your body recomp journey. Guys, if you want to go deeper on this topic, especially how long it really takes to lose body fat and build muscle, I want you guys to check out this video right here. I break down the exact nutrition strategies that work, whether you want to lose fat, gain muscle, body recomposition, whatever your goal is. I'm going to tell you how you can make it actually fit into your life, and I'm going to tell you how to set realistic expectations on your journey. I hope that this video helped you out, and I will see you guys on the next one.